What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Savvy, and welcome back to the Savvy Show. I hope you guys are all having a phenomenal day, and today I am super excited to react to this SCP. I'll tell you guys in a little bit, man, because this SCP is SCP-323 Wendigo Skull. So first and foremost, let's talk about the first part, Wendigo. If you guys don't know what a Wendigo is already, I'm sure most of you guys do, but I'm just going to say Wendigos are creatures that end up killing and consuming their prey, which are humans, whatever. And for one to become a Wendigo, they usually start as a human and they fall prey to greed or desires or weakness, and then they turn into a Wendigo. So that's how one becomes a Wendigo. And the second half, Skull. I'm assuming, if I could just take a wild guess, I think the skull itself, the skull, is the SCP, and whoever wears said skull transform into a Wendigo hybrid monster. And you know, they're going to test the skull out with other individuals. But I feel like the true SCP will be the skull itself, and that would be kind of cool because it's like you wear this, you become a Wendigo. It's like, you know, superpowers, kind of like, it just seems like a cool concept. And I'm really excited to react to it, guys. If you can't already see. So if you guys are excited about my reactions and you guys do enjoy this reaction, please remember to smash that like button, man. It means the world. Also remember, smash that sub button. Don't forget, I know some of you guys probably get so caught up in the heat and you forget, but yo, I'm here to remind you guys. Smash it now so you won't forget. Like, I'm just telling you right now, because I'm telling you guys, I've been making a few extra stops for you guys. I know you guys want to hop on. Like, the train is in the building. Hop in now, man, because yo, like what I always say, all gas, no brakes. We don't slow down, we go full throttle. And I don't want you to miss out on any doses, so hop in, have a good time with the family, and let's keep it pushing. And also remember, turn on post notifications as well too, so you know exactly when I'm dropping more doses, because usually I drop multiple uploads a day, and I hate for you guys to miss out on some. Also, shout out to TheRubber for making this animation so I could react to it, man. Link in description below for the original link. And without any further ado, let's get this show started.
A warped man walked out of the woods, killed our friends right in front of us. Sometimes it would stare more than it would make to kill, try to talk to you. It whispered at me, "Come and eat." It made me cold in my bones. When I was made to kill, I thought of this, and it calmed me. Hello, everybody.
Whoa.
I'm TheRubber. Sometimes it would stare more than it would make to kill, try to talk to you. It whispered at me, "Come and eat." It made me cold in my bones. When I was made to kill...
Oh, killing the dude. I thought it was killing the Wendigo. I'm like, off the rip, the SP's dead in the intro? Like, alone? Like, yo, that would have been kind of crazy. But I just saw the dead body.
Of this, and it calmed me. Hello, everybody. I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you SCP Foundation Euclid Class Object SCP-323. SCP-323, also known as Wendigo Skull, is the skull of an unidentified cervid measuring 55 centimeters long, 27 centimeters wide, and 31 centimeters tall. With a pair of antlers growing from the left and right sides of SCP-323, 323 shows signs of damage consistent with outside exposure, with regular pitting, scarring, and weathering across the object, bleaching on the upper surfaces, and a missing lower jaw. The rear of the skull features an approximately centered ovoid gap, measuring 25 centimeters high and 23 centimeters wide, giving access to an interior space 16 centimeters deep.
Perfect for a helmet.
This gap shows signs of tool use, indicating that it was carved with tools, possibly stone.
How is it still growing, though? How is the antler still growing? That's the crazy part right now.
SCP-323 displays the ability to react to aural, tactile, and visual stimuli. Testing has revealed SCP-323 appears to have a field of view similar to that of other cervids, and has responded to visual stimuli from up to 50 meters away. 323 is also capable of limited locomotion, typically in the form of small movements and vibrations. In most cases, 323 will only move away when touched, or when personnel are present within its containment chamber.
Wow.
But 323 has also demonstrated the ability to make larger movement, such as lunging at SCP's personnel, and repeatedly attempting to break through its containment.
Oh my goodness.
SCP-323 exerts an influential effect in a radius extending roughly 15 meters from itself. Individuals within this radius will begin experiencing cannibalistic thoughts and urges, violent outbursts, and impaired judgment
Bruh.
after approximately 1 hour of continuous exposure. Roughly 74% of individuals who reach this point will attempt to place their heads through the gap present in the back of 323.
Okay, this makes sense. It's luring them to actually become a Wendigo, I think, because I feel like when they actually, put it on, that's the full transformation. I feel like the aura that is exuding out is making them, go to that breaking point so they could change into Wendigo. Maybe you want a Wendigo army, who knows? Or it could only turn a human into a Wendigo one at a time. Who knows?
If an individual is incapable of fitting their whole head through the gap, attempts will be made to bludgeon their heads against nearby hard surfaces, until the point that the individual's head manages to fit, loses consciousness, or pass on.
Bro, this SCP got them in some deep trance to do all that. Oh my god.
Once the individual has fit their head through 323, the individual is classified as SCP-323-1. Within 10 minutes of putting 323 on, 323-1 will undergo drastic physical alterations.
Let's see it.
323-1 will experience a rapid loss of body fat, body hair, and pigmentation, followed by the rupturing of the distal phalanges from the fingertips, abnormal tooth growth, and the blackening of extremities consistent with frostbite.
Yikes.
Additionally, 323-1 appears to experience greater strength and pain tolerance than the average human.
Oh my god.
However, 323-1 still appears to be as susceptible to physical harm as it was before contacting SCP-323.
Oh.
SCP-323-1's metabolism will experience a dramatic increase, requiring a constant caloric intake, with starvation occurring anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes, if no self-preservation efforts are made. In order to sustain its increased metabolism, 323-1 will actively seek out and eat other individuals for sustenance.
Damn.
If 323-1 is incapable of finding plentiful nourishment, 323-1 will make efforts to sustain itself, including limiting movement, rationing available food, and auto-cannibalism.
Wow, smart.
SCP-323-1 will only feed upon humans. It is presumed that 323-1 can receive sustenance from other sources, but chooses not to,
so it's just picky.
despite availability or ease of access. During the pursuit of individuals, SCP-323-1 has been known to occasionally make various statements in the Severn, Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Cree languages, as well as in the native language of 323-1 original itself. It is not known if these statements and the knowledge of these languages is the result of SCP-323's anomalous influence, or if they originate from 323 itself. The following audio log has been transcribed from surveillance recovered during the 2006 containment breach of SCP-323.
All the languages that this SCP knows, I'm thinking that maybe it was from the knowledge of the previous Wendigos that put on that helmet, put on that skull per se. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Like throughout history, all the people that, put that on and died probably and passed on, retain some of the memories that one person had within that skull. Because it is a skull. You could think about it like that's where all the, everything stems from. So maybe that's how it knows all the information. Or it could just be it's a mythological creature and it's just, that smart. But I would like to think of it being the latter. But yeah.
Which resulted in the death of 12 personnel members before containment could be reestablished. Hungry. So hungry.
Damn. You picky, boy. Eat a sandwich.
I must eat. So very hungry. Always. Always hungry.
Oh my god. Uh-oh.
Must not
Look at his
eat.
eyes.
I have to eat. So hungry. So lonely.
Lonely.
Alone. Hungry. Should eat.
Jesus.
Must eat them all.
Oh my god.
I must eat to know warmth.
Damn.
So cold. Must eat.
That's a little bit more deep than I expected. just seeing that part alone, it's showing me that it's not like it's blindly killing just because it wants to kill, or like wants to kill just to eat, and it's being picky to only eat humans. It's kind of assuming that, like, one, we found out that he gets frostbites on his extremities, so like he's probably like in a cold state. They wouldn't have said the frostbite if it didn't mean anything. It would have just been like, oh, his fingers and toes turn dark, you know? But it's frostbite. So if he doesn't eat anything, he probably feels like he's freezing to death or something. And the warm blood, the warm flesh of a human makes him feel warm at home. That doesn't make it right, but it's cool to think about it in another way than just blindly killing and eating, you know? I really like that. I really like what they did there.
SCP-323 was first discovered on December 9, 1997, in the Bittern Lake Reserve, part of the Lachlan Runge First Nation in Canada. A small and unregistered community had been sustaining an active SCP-323-1 by routinely murdering individuals and leaving them out as an appeasement to 323-1.
What? Oh my
Investigation
God.
revealed
Who
that
are you
many
murdering,
people
though?
were involved, and these people were amnesticized after being interviewed.
They don't look like D classes, guys. What people you using? Because this whole situation, this whole SBC Foundation is to save humanity, right? From anomalies. And these dudes right here, they don't look like D classes. They look like natives in the area.
Lachlan Runge First Nation in Canada. A small and unregistered community had been sustaining an active SCP-323-1 by routinely murdering individuals and leaving them out as an appeasement to 323-1. Investigation revealed that many people were involved.
Oh, they were doing it, not the SCP Foundation then. I guess I was confused. The people within themselves were murdering and like doing sacrifices. I thought the SCP Foundation was behind it. That's not the case, my bad.
These people were amnesticized after being interviewed, and a cover story involving an unidentified serial killer was propagated. Unfortunately, the 323-1 died of starvation during its transfer to Site-91.
Dang.
James Namagus, an individual involved in the murders and sustaining of SCP-323-1 prior to its containment, was brought in by a professor from the Foundation for questioning. James remained unusually calm throughout and after the interview. James told the professor that he involved in moving the bodies for the Wendigo to eat. Here, Wendigo refers to the 323-1 instance. His elders told them a story of the Cree men, back when fighting was common, who tried to control the Wendigo to give his people an advantage. When asked about how they first encountered Wendigo, he said, "One night, I heard yelling all around the village. A warped man walked out of the woods, killed our friends right in front of us.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it would stare more than it would make to kill, try to talk to you. It whispered at me, 'Come and eat.' It made me cold in my bones.
Wow.
Then I
Like
felt
join
like I
him.
could understand the warped man, the Wendigo, and that we could leave with him like we all do when we pass. When I was made to kill, I thought of this and it calmed me. I didn't run. It would look at me sometimes. I could hear him in my mind. I could feel him watching me from out of my own eyes. This helped me watch these people die, and I hoped it would pass on my family."
Felt the Wendigo watching him through his own eyes. Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. Hold up, let me.
Following the interview, James was administered amnesties and was
Dang.
reintroduced to his community.
That's crazy. I want to hear that again though, from the eat part. That was interesting to see, because I feel like the Wendigo deep down is not that bad. Like in a unique way to put it, in a very, very unique way. Because I mean, one, he is being pulled to become this Wendigo. The person, the human that's wearing the skull. Like at the end of the day, the person that is wearing the skull was hypnotized to put it on and like smash the head to fit it in. I doubt they would do that willingly. And just to hear like the dialogue when he's like eating and consuming, and how he dies from starvation, and how he just wants to like someone to join to eat with him. Maybe he thinks this is like okay. Like it's kind of weird to say.
Then I felt like I could understand the warped man, the Wendigo, and that we could leave with him like we all do when we pass. When I was made to kill, I thought of this and it calmed me. I didn't run. It would look at me sometimes.
Wow.
I could hear him in my mind. I could feel him watching me from out of my own eyes. This helped me watch these people die, and I hoped it would pass on my family. Following the interview,
Wow,
James was
this
admitted
guy
to the
was.
candidates and was reintroduced to his
I feel
community.
sorry for him.
SCP-323 is to be kept in a 17 cubic meters concrete containment cell in Site-9-1. It is to be restrained in the center of the cell with a 1 cubic meter container of 8.8 centimeter thick transparent armor.
Damn.
The container must be lined with a one-way laminate, which has one electronically locked access port. This container is to be internally lit, with the surrounding cell kept dimmer to facilitate the one-way laminate. The cell is to be surveyed remotely at all times, and any signs of activity are to be reported. No personnel are to enter SCP-323's containment cell except to examine the integrity of SCP-323's restraint measures.
Smart.
The restraint measures are to be examined bi-weekly, and any signs of damage are to be repaired immediately. All personnel who enter 323's containment cell are to be accompanied by an armed guard. Personnel are not to be within 323's containment cell for longer than 45 minutes. And any communication around 323 is to be written or spoken in a language other than English or French. In the event that 323 breaches containment and an instance of 323-1 is formed, personnel are to evacuate site.
How would that even happen if they're following the regulations? Maybe this is a hypothetical.
Site-9-1, and the site is to be locked down.
Damn.
Remote units are to be deployed to destroy the body of 323-1.
Sheesh.
Following this, armed personnel may be sent in to reestablish the containment of SCP-323.
It's pretty easy to neutralize then. Like, it does have pretty cool powers, but like, it's basically like a human still.
Before we end this video,
So that's it. That was cool. That was cool. I really like the way that they portrayed the Wendigo itself when the human is wearing the skull. Because I feel like deep down, maybe the human doesn't want to do this, but he needs to stay alive. It's like fight or flight. Like, you got to do certain things to be alive, to stay alive. And sometimes you don't like it, but you just got to do what you got to do to survive out here. And I feel like he was going through it in a deeper sense of it. And he just didn't want to be alone anymore. Like, that, I really liked that part. This was interesting, and this was definitely a good one to react to. I'm glad that I did it today. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this reaction and you guys want to see more, please remember to smash that like button and also smash the sub button if you're not already part of the family. I make content, SCP content daily for you guys, so I hate for you guys to miss any. And if you guys don't want to miss any and you guys are already subbed and you haven't turned the post notification button on, you should turn it on so you know exactly when I'm dropping doses and you won't miss anything. So yeah, with that being said, unfortunately that concludes today's episode. But like always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. With